Hello. Hey, first of all, can I ask you something kind of weird? Like, when was the last time you paid with actual cash? You know, think about it. Was it at a parking fee? Was it a street vendor? Or maybe you don't even remember at all. In Indonesia, digital wallets like OVO, GoPay, Dana, Shopee are literally everywhere. You can use them to buy coffee, spill bills at a cafe, or even pay for satay on the street. Scan, beep, and done. And here's the crazy part: over 80% of Indonesian millennials now prefer digital wallets over cash. But here's what I'm really curious about: are we actually heading towards a fully cashless society? And what's going to happen to traditional banks if we do? Now,
Now
stick
stick around
around
because
because
we're
we're
diving
diving
deep
deep
into
into
that.
that,
Yes,
yes,
surely.
surely.
Okay,
Okay,
so
so
let's
let's
break
break
this
this
down.
down. A digital wallet is basically a wallet, but on your phone. Yes? No letter, no zipper, just code. It's an app where you can store your money, pay instantly to anywhere, to a store or to a merchant, and send funds to a friend who never risks cash, like you, and in some cases, even invest or get cashbacks. Now, have you ever topped up your e-wallet from your bank account? If you ever, that's
That's
digital
digital
synergy
synergy
right
right
there.
there.
And
And
here's
here's
the
the
kicker:
kicker.
you
You
don't
don't
need
need
to
to
carry
carry
debit
debit
card
card
anymore.
anymore.
Some
Some
people
people
don't
don't
even
even
carry
carry
their
their
wallets
wallets
at
at
all,
all.
just their phones. Now, imagine telling your grandma, "Yep, I just paid for groceries with my face and a QR code." So yeah,
So yeah,
and
and
digital
digital
wallet is
wallet is
fast,
fast,
efficient, and
efficient, and
fun to
fun to
use, I
use, I
guess.
guess.
Now,
Now,
before we
before we
say
say
rip
rip
banks,
banks,
hold up,
hold up,
wait a
wait a
minute.
minute.
Say, hold up, wait a minute, something ain't right.
Traditional banking still does a lot that digital wallets can fully handle. We're talking about loans, like taking a loan to buy that house you saw on some website, or a car. Now, credit scoring, so you can prove you're responsible with money, and then high level investments. And maybe you can say also like physical banks that backed by the government. That cannot be done by e-wallets. Now, let's be real. Some people just feel more comfortable walking into a bank and talking to a real person, like not a chatbot that says, "I don't quite catch that" 5 times in a row. Now, traditional banks may feel old school, but they're trusted, stable, and more structured, especially for people who grew up before smartphones were a thing. Now, that said, banks are evolving too, but we'll go to that later, okay? Now, let's talk
Talk
about
about
convenience,
convenience,
okay?
okay?
Going
Going
cashless
cashless
is
is
like
like
switching from CD to Spotify. Once
once
you
you
feel
feel
how
how
fast
fast
and
and
easy it
easy it
is,
is,
you're
you're
not
not
gonna
gonna
go
go
back.
back.
Surely,
Surely
you're
you're
not
not
gonna
gonna
go
go
back
back
to
to
that
that
era.
era.
Now,
Now,
what
what
is
is
the
the
very
very
own
own
convenience
convenience
of
of
going
going
cashless
cashless
or
or
like
like
going
going
with
with
e-wallet?
e-wallet?
You
You
don't
don't
need to count change, no? Like you
you
just
just
tap
tap
or
or
like
like
you
you
just
just
scan,
scans
and
and
like
like
every
every
piece
piece
of
of
fragment
fragment
of
of
cash
cash
of
of
coins,
coins
you
you
just
just
there's
there's
no
no
need
need
to
to
carry
carry every
to carry
carry
any
any
change
change
even,
even,
right?
right?
And
And
then
then
there's
there's
instant
instant
receipts
receipts
where
where
it just comes out of your phone notification like you just bought this for this amount. And then some e-wallets even offer cashbacks and points like, yes, please give me some offers of that to help me financially. Now, some
some
even
even
have,
have
not even
even
some,
some
every
every
e-wallet
e-wallet
have
have
that
that
budget tracking built into that app to
to
help you
help you
track
track
what
what
you're
you're
spending
spending
on.
on.
Now,
Now,
it's
it's
not
not
just a
just a
payment
payment
method,
method,
it's an
it's an
experience,
experience,
a
a
smarter
smarter
ones.
ones.
Have you
Have
ever
you
been
ever
behind
behind
someone in
someone in
line counting coins when you already paid, grab your food, and laughed? Like, that's the power
power
of
of
QR and tap to pay. And you know what's wild? Let's look at Sweden. Sweden is already 95% cashless. Like, people get confused there when you try to pay with coins there. Like in Indonesia, we are on our way now, especially in cities. E-wallets usage is exploding. Even tukang cilok, like the ones on the side of the road, accepts curious now. Oh, let's be honest. When
When
was
was
the
the
last
last
time
time
you
you
were
were
like,
like,
wait,
wait,
I
I
forgot
forgot
my
my
wallet,
wallet,
but
but
you
you
still
still
had
had
your
your
phone?
phone?
Like,
It's
it's
not
not
a
a big
big
trouble
trouble
for
for
now,
now,
for
for
nowadays.
nowadays.
Let's not get carried away first, okay? If there's a convenience, there are also problems, Going 100% cashless sounds futuristic, I know, but it has some real problems. First of all, what if you're on offline? Like, what if you doesn't have any signals in your area, or like you don't have any batteries, or like what if the app just crashes? Like, yeah, it happens at the worst times. Now, second, not everyone has access. Like many people, especially in rural areas or like the elderly, might not have smartphones or stable connection at least. We risk excluding them from basic financial services. Now, the very last but not least is privacy, okay? Every transaction is recorded, as you may know. It's even tracked, it's even sometimes even sold as data to advertisers. Ever wonder why get an ad for coffee right after buying one, Yeah, that's one of a kind where spending behavior gets monetized. So, the real question here is, are we sacrificing privacy and inclusion for the sake of speed and cool tech? Like, are we? But let's not talk about that for now. We are talking about what I mentioned earlier is curious. Now, Indonesia here is doing something very cool. We have standardized all e-payment systems with curious, or we could say the long term is the quick response Indonesian standards. Now, whether you use GoPay, OVO, Dana, Link Aja, you can just scan one QR code, just one type of QR codes. That's it. More than 45 million merchants are now on board. And guess what? This includes the street vendors, food stalls, parking attendants, even your maybe your laundry shop nearby. Now, it's digital empowerment for micro businesses, or we could say UMKM in Indonesia, or like micro, small, and medium businesses. So no more cash box, no more sorry, I have no change. Or like in Indonesia we say sorry, gak ada kembalian. Here, take a candy, yes. Curious help UMKM thrive in a digital economy, especially post-pandemic. That's powerful. So the next time you see that QR code next to a Warung's cashier, that's not just tech. That's not just tech. That's transformation. So here's the twist ending. We're not replacing banks with wallets. As I said earlier, I'm gonna talk about this more. We're fusing them. Banks now release their own e-wallets, and then fintech startups collaborates with old institutions. Banking apps now have secure pays, e-loans, and investment tracking all in one. It's not cash versus digital. It's about integration. In the future, you might just need one app to buy lunch, to even pay bills, to apply for a loan or even invest in stocks or just get a financial advice. Okay, and that future is already in your pocket. So back to what I started with, are we going cashless? Yes, but not recklessly. It needs to be secure, it needs to be inclusive, it needs to be sustainable. The digital wallets are digital wallets are the future, no doubts about it. But traditional banks, they're not gonna be extinct. They're not going extinct. They're evolving just like us. Now, thanks for listening, for me yapping, or like for me talking about this. You can hit subscribe, you can hit the subscribe button, drop a comment, or hey, just like that one friend who uses cash for everything. Thank you for being here. Goodbye.